Hello members. One of the key focus areas for the club is environment and sustainability. We're proud in the sense that we've won state and national awards in this space. Today I'm talking with Tim McAuliffe, an environmental scientist, one of our members and volunteers, and Paul Hockridge, who's a director on the board and his portfolio being environment and sustainability. There's some fantastic initiatives happening within the club, so let's go have a chat. Thanks Tim, thanks Paul for speaking with me today and members.
No worries.
Standing up here behind Bunker Hill and Boomerang Green. Background there I can see a cocky trough. I'm here to talk to you today about primarily the environmental sustainability work the club are doing at the moment. It's a key focus for the club. Paul, you're director and this is your area of expertise and you're looking after this for the club. Tim, expert environmentalist scientist, doing fantastic work in leading the volunteer group as well. So I'll start with you, Paul. From a board and a club's perspective, what are our key focus areas at the moment?
Well, thanks, Troy. Well, I think firstly, in the last couple of years under the leadership of Greg Forbes and Gary Nettle, we really recognised that we need to do a lot more in this space, and hence the Environment Sustainability Committee was formed, which is terrific, and that's been carried forward. I guess we're really looking at obviously flora, rehabilitating certain areas of the site that have perhaps in pretty poor condition, but also more importantly, or just as importantly, looking after some of the amazing remnant bushland that we have on site. That's a key focus. Now the flora is really up and going. Some wonderful work done by the volunteers over the years, and Tim's one of them. Paulson Jack particularly.
Mel, lots of others.
Mel, Greg Ash and the like, and so many more. We're probably at a time now where we're really starting to look at the fauna side as much as anything as well, particularly bird species. I think we've got something like about 68 identified species on birds that have either on site or coming through the site. And in recent times we've also had a relocation of Quenda from the Perth airport onto the site, which perhaps Tim might talk a little bit to as well.
I'd like to touch on that one because that's a fantastic initiative and recognition for the club, Tim.
Yeah,
big work that you've done here.
Oh well, it's the whole club's done, Troy. But so that the relocation of Quenda, yes. So the airport's putting a new runway in, and we've worked over a few years now. Started actually with Greg Ash talking to people that he knew at the airport. Because they're going to destroy some habitat there, they wanted to relocate to Quenda, and they've started coming here to Mount Lawley. We've been relocating them this week. In terms of the club, I think it's a really big endorsement of what the club's doing. So the state government had to approve it. They had to decide that this habitat here is good enough and that it was going to be protected long term. So it's a big feather in the cap for the club that an endangered or threatened very important little marsupials being rehomed here on our course. From our perspective, it's just the latest piece in the whole environmental puzzle here, the latest jigsaw piece if you want. As Paul said, we've done work on flora and rehab here, cocky trough behind us encouraging our black cockatoo species that use this bush to survive long term. Other things we've done with owl boxes and all sorts of things, even education like the mural just to the left of us. So the club and its members should be pretty proud of what we're doing in terms of marrying recreation and the environment. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's exactly that. We're not just a golf course, are we? Now one of the other issues that we've, and well, I say issues, but challenges the club have, and every club in this state and across the country have, is water. It's not a finite resource. Do you just want to touch on that, where we're at with water? 228, the club, we operate under a licence, and there is going to be a reduction of at least 10% in 228. So what initiatives are we putting in place to mitigate and reduce our water?
Well, no, it's a great question, Troy. Obviously we've got restrictions coming in. I mean, the world's changing in that space. I think the other part of it is obviously we've had a huge investment in the golf course itself, and we've known for some time that we've got issues with water quality, blue algae, cyanobacteria and the like. So in recent times we've introduced a water treatment system, a nanotech system that members have probably seen the sea container alongside the pump shed there. And in very recent times, we've been incredibly lucky to have Tim's expertise here, and we've introduced a water monitoring program to really understand the real issues, and probably let Tim talk to that a little more. But we're using a lot of bore water, obviously when we're reticulating through the summer, and what we've come to understand is that bore water is pretty poor quality. We then have to manage it through the course of the dam, and then we have to get it out onto the course. The critical thing for us is obviously to reduce our water consumption over time, and there's various ways we can do that. Improved water quality being one. We've also got to protect this wonderful asset that we've been sinking a lot of time and dollars into over the past few years. Tim?
It's pretty straightforward, I suppose. Water is absolutely an essential input into running this place. We've got 30 odd hectares of turf here, so water is an absolute essential requirement for that to survive. We are lucky here that we've got a lake system, and one of the things we're doing now, as Paul said, we're watching the water quality in the lake very carefully and actively managing it. But we're also looking at that as a habitat as well. And we've actually had a wetland scientist, an internationally renowned scientist, come here this morning, look at the lake, and she's given us some advice on how we can continue with that whole environmental management theme and improve the habitat value there at the lake for things like frogs and waterfowl and the like. So it's just another thing that the club's doing in terms of this marriage between golf and the environment. It's a really good initiative, supported by board and management, which is great.
Well, thank you, Tim, Paul, for your time today and educating members. The work that's being done is incredible. Mount Lawley Golf Club is leading this space, particularly in the golf industry.
Absolutely,
we have
no question.
won state and national awards in this space, and that's due credit particularly to you, Tim, and all the volunteers and the club.
There's 30 odd volunteers, and they put in an enormous amount of work on this.
So, and I'll probably put my sales pitch hat on now and just say if there's any members out there who are interested in being involved.
Got a bit of idle time.
You've got a bit of time. Most of the time you're out here Monday mornings, Friday mornings. Do a great job. It's really created a fantastic camaraderie. It's not just men, it's women as well who are out here helping.
That's right.
And fantastic what you do. It certainly demonstrates how we go beyond the game. And we look forward to promoting this space well into the future. Thanks, gentlemen.
Go on, Troy.
Terrific. Thanks.